Hello everybody, it's Charlie again, and I'm currently playing Spider-Man 2. And this will be another replay review in 2024, because I really enjoyed this game, and I wanted to give you the reasons as to why this game you need to get, or you need to at least play. And yeah, other than that, let's get into it. Hope you guys enjoy. What's up guys, welcome back to another replay review. We're going to start off here with Peter Parker as Spider-Man, using his new gliding mechanic, which I gotta say is pretty amazing. I can't believe they put this into the game. I was actually very excited. This actual model of the glider is actually in the first year that Spider-Man was released, 1962, I believe, or sorry, I could have gotten that wrong, but right around there. This is a very old thing that was never included in the games. And if it was, you know, maybe in the games that I didn't get to play, but overall, as you can see, the action is chaotic, insane. I'm sorry for the enemy types kind of spoiler, but I won't be spoiling the story here. But yeah, there's so many enemy types and techniques and things you could use that it just brings the game into an action-packed just chaos, you know. Obviously, you still have your regular mechanics, which is Spider-Man's tech, but it's also a lot of additional abilities that you'll see. There'll be more of an explanation. I know there's already a lot of spoilers in the trailers of certain things, so it doesn't really matter what I put in here. And I guess some of the outfits I'm going to be putting in here you've never seen, but there's a lot of familiar ones from the other games. This game actually took the first two games and just made them better. Obviously, this is a very specific exclusive for the PS5. You know, I'm not sure if it's on PC yet. Eventually it will be, but for now I think it's only on PS5. If it is, obviously there is the usual graphic settings, except this time there's only two, and both of them come with ray tracing, believe it or not, which is really cool. Obviously there is a downgrade in resolution when you're playing with the performance mode, but like I said, it doesn't really matter because the city still looks fantastic regardless, and there's still, you know, the image is going to be upscaled to 4K depending on, you know, the TV you have or monitor. But yeah, man, what can I say? I had a great time. The action's fast, even faster than before, which, if you can believe that. And it's the enemy types are actually more difficult. There's a variety of enemies from both Kraven's crew, which you saw in the trailers, and a couple other additional surprises that I don't want to ruin. Side missions galore. Side missions are now not boring, in my opinion. A lot better than the first two games that at some point became repetitive. Obviously the Miles game kind of like changed it a little bit, made it more fun, but this one even more so. So there's a reason to go around in the city and have yourselves a good time, right? And the gameplay is so fun this time. Like, even, well, it was already fun, but this time is so fun that you're not gonna want to stop playing. In fact, I still jump in after I beat the game already. I have quite a few hours already invested in the game, and you'll notice that the boss fight in the games, in this specific game, is not a joke. I think this is the most difficult Spider-Man game ever made. It's also the best one in my opinion because it's more complete. It's almost like the difference between Arkham Knight and Arkham City. Arkham City had the better story, but Arkham Knight is the more complete game. This is the more complete game. The better story is in the first game, but I have no complaints. As you can see, there's people to rescue as well in different ways now that they incorporated. Some of the missions are repeated from the older games, but very few. And it feels like more of a fun experience in this one, at least to my opinion. Okay, everything feels brand new, feels fast, and it does feel like a next gen, or this gen, I guess, because it's PS5, this gen actual game. I believe they're using the Insomniac game engine, in-game game engine, I believe it's called. I don't remember. The map is massive. They added extra areas, and it feels even bigger in scale. The buildings are ridiculous. Okay, just ridiculous sized buildings. I don't know how to put it. It just feels like a bigger. It feels like a real city. You know, as you can see, the objectives, they're not too much riddled all over the place. They're more meaningful, and there is additional stories that you need to check out, guys. Some of them made me teary-eyed because there's additional information, there's additional characters that are not in the main story that you may find in some of these missions. One in specific that surprised me, that I haven't put it in videos, so after I beat the game I played it. The traversal is fast, guys. It's way too enjoyable for its own good. I'm not even joking. I couldn't stop just enjoying it, you know. Also, fast travel, guys, it's insane. As you can see in that clip, it was ridiculous. SSD really does its job. Also, the sensors on the controller are, I can't even, you know, I'm not even exaggerating. They're just too good. Skill tree is amazing. They changed it a little bit. There's a skill tree for Peter and Miles, but also one that they both share, that they both can use. And you basically level all this stuff up. As you can see, I'm at level 51. You know, I've gone pretty thoroughly through the game. I haven't platinum it yet, but I will be platinum in the game because it's not tedious at all. It's very enjoyable. There's not much I can say other than the length of the story is, in my opinion, perfect. It did drag a little bit because there's certain missions I wish they didn't include and they would replace with others. You know, like the ability to play with Kraven. That was, I guess, a missed opportunity, but it's okay for the most part. Even the annoyances in the story do not hinder the game at all. For the most part, the characters had purpose. The voice acting is great. The action is amazing. The gameplay feels better than it's ever felt. The graphics are even better than they've ever been. Even better than the remasters. I was kind of shocked at how they could actually... I thought I was going to be playing basically the same game again with just a few enhancements, and this kind of blew me away because I noticed the enhancements of the game, or the way they made it feel, because it's specifically a PS5 game now. And all I gotta say is, you know, beware of enemy types. Like I said at the beginning, they are way more difficult, even in normal, which is the amazing. I think that's the normal mode. I would say that now amazing is hard, and then, you know, there would be ultra hard after that, and then before that would be normal. Like friendly would be normal, and then neighborhood would be really easy, you know. I didn't play on those other modes. I just stayed on amazing just to see what it was like, and I gotta tell you, it was quite a ride. If you watch my videos, I do have a playlist on the full game. I just recently beat it, and I was pleasantly surprised at the difficulty because it made the game a lot more fun. And basically, you feel now that you're Spider-Man because you have more competition, I guess. But here is some of the gadgets in the game, which they're reintroducing now. Miles can also use Peter's gadgets, which is really cool. So Miles is pretty OP, I'm not gonna lie. But I still prefer to play with Peter, not because he's the OG, but also the way Peter feels. He feels a little bit heavier than Miles. Just depends on you. Miles feels a little bit more floaty for some reason. Maybe he's lighter or quicker, I don't really know. But I do still like the electrical powers, obviously. But yeah, there's a variety of those. Variety of costumes that I will be showing in upcoming clips here in the review. But this costume specifically is a costume that I hadn't seen, and it's really cool. And yeah, there's just so many stuff that you can collect. As you saw, you can still collect those extra things to base. They're very important to collect because they level up everything and they allow you to get additional things in the game, like upgrade your gadgets and suits in general, because there's suit tech. Traversal, basically you find these wind tunnels and stuff by holding down the R3. It's an easier way to find them. See, they'll either show them to you, and you'll see the paths and stuff. It helps everybody get through this damn thing quicker, because I mean, it's already quick, but damn, you know what I'm saying? Like if you like traversal and you don't want to do fast travel all the time, even though why wouldn't you? It's super fast. You have this to enjoy. Here are the suits, pretty unique outfits this time around. A lot of repeated ones for Miles, I think. But there's variety in color as well for Peter, and some returning ones and some surprises of costumes that I was shocked that they put in the game, because they're favorites from the movies and other media, I guess, cartoons and stuff like that. But man, there's really so much to talk about in this game. Sadly, my review, I won't be putting every single thing because I want you guys to be a little bit surprised by some of the additional stuff, you know. This is another additional traversal mechanic that I absolutely love. it kind of spuns you into the air like insane. As you can see, you can either use it to get into a building quicker and to stick to the wall, or you can just use it to pretty much just take off and end up wherever the heck you need to go quicker. They're riddled around the map, different places. They're not really all over the place, but they're easy to find because there are these yellow slingshot markers on the map. And yeah, the gliding mechanic is awesome. You could stay up there after you upgrade a few traversal mechanics. You'll notice that there's ways to just freaking glide. Like, you're basically flying. I'll be honest. You're basically flying. There's these little investigative things where you're investigating bases, not just you remember the regular base battles and stuff. This one, if you're not careful, there's little things like lasers and stuff. You activate them, and you're gonna follow yourself into a shit show. This is me doing it properly without any issues. And basically, I deactivate the lasers, and then I continue to run an investigation. So there is more of that aspect in here. There's a few missions, I guess, for the scientific side, little puzzles. They're a lot more enjoyable this time around, even though I don't like them in general. Not even in the other game, but here they're a lot simpler, and they don't take up most of the game. Most of the game is based on action and adventure and exploration. So New York City does feel quite different. It just feels better in scale, and it feels like more meaningful activities are happening along with mini stories in between main missions. Or you can go back and do them. You can't miss any of this stuff, so that's cool about these games in general. As we continue here, we see another outfit with Miles. He's doing an actual base for the hunters. That's what they're called, Kraven's men or women. Very highly trained. You'll notice the difference between them and the thugs immediately, and you're gonna be like, oh crap, because you'll try to do what you did in the other games, and you're like, I know how this goes, and you'll realize that no, the difficulty has been spiked quite a bit, which like I said, I appreciate, because some of the stuff was getting samey and repetitive from the other games, and it's still Spider-Man, so it's gonna sell, and but I don't understand why some things were omitted that I think were opportunities. Like I said, the ability to possibly do missions with Kraven, because as you can see, he's in the commercial, you can tell he's hunting people that have super abilities, villains and heroes alike. He really doesn't care. Pretty creepy villain, pretty awesome in general. And like I said, so many surprises to talk about that. Anyways, I'm like more than halfway through the review. I'm gonna give this game a 10 out of 10. It didn't break the scale at 11, because in my scale it can't break. But no, it stayed at 10 out of 10. I took minor points away, mainly because of the main story slowdowns, and some things that were forced in that should have not been forced in. Okay, I'll be honest with you. Some things I was like, why are they in here? But overall, the game works great. It's a complete game. The story is long enough. I heard it was short as shit. It's not that short, trust me. Especially since difficulty was increased. And it has a lot of familiar faces. It has Miles and Peter to pick from, which is great. I wish I had a 2-player. Hopefully in Spider-Man 3, there's a 2-player mode with even more characters to pick from, because like I said, there's surprises in here. After credit scenes, definitely stick around. If you don't want to watch my playlist, that's fine. You could go ahead and play through the game. Just make sure you stick around for the after credits, because there is a surprise that I completely forgot about from the comics, because it's been years since I've read Spider-Man comics in general. But yeah, guys, 10 out of 10. I think this game deserves it. I think it's one of the best games I've ever played, and by far a great PS5 exclusive that everybody should purchase or play if you get a chance. Okay? There's no doubt in my mind that you will enjoy yourself in every way. This is the greatest Spider-Man game I've ever played, and it's a technical marvel what they can do with the PS5, because this showcases the capabilities of what PS5 can actually do. Here's some collectible stuff that I recommend you collecting, because there is story bits in here about characters that you like. Obviously, Sandman's in the story. He was in the original trailer and some of the gameplay. I tried not to spoil most of it. You could hear me say that in my... So a lot of it surprised me, because I just don't watch spoilers, guys. I hate them. with a passion. I don't mind little things like costumes and stuff, but main story spoilers, no thanks. But here's the most, guys. But yeah, other than that, 10 out of 10. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe when you get a chance. And like I always say, go get him.